Hi, and welcome to Foxy's Den. Well, I thought I'd just try a little different way of putting my camera for the moment. I've just put it on a very small tripod, and I thought I'd just try and see if I can do something that's a little bit more close up. So we'll just put that out the way and let you see what we've got on the bench today. Right, anyone like to take a guess as to what this might be? No? Right, okay. Well, this actually, if I just put my fingers in here, you'll see the sort of size it is, and you can probably guess from the graduations on the on my cutting mat. Yeah, this actually was a stereo 1/4 inch line socket, which originally would have had the cable coming out of this end, and this end you would have plugged a 1/4 inch jack. But I've made a few little modifications to this, and I've made this little device here. I made this about 1992, 93, somewhere around about that. And yeah, well, as I say, if I just give this a little twist here, and we can see, yeah, we've got ourselves a nice bright white LED. This is in fact a nice little tiny torch. And I suppose many would be thinking that, well, mainly those that don't really know much, that don't know electronics all that much, would probably guess that I've just put an LED into a little metal tube and put one of those little 12 volt car key fob things, or those type of batteries. I was just trying to think what they're called now. Yeah, I can't remember the number, the name of them or the number of them for the moment. But they're also used in the Peak Atlas component testers. But no, you'd be wrong. As I say, there isn't one of those in there. As I say, if I just undo this and I take that out, and I can take this here, and I can show you here. This, in fact, is, if I can get it the right way up, this is actually a 1.5 volt battery. And as you know, you can't really get an LED to light up from a 1.5 volt battery. Although some of you will probably prove me wrong, and I've probably done it myself as well. You can actually get some low current red LEDs, which you may possibly get to light from a fresh 1.5 volt D cell, and it probably won't be very bright, but it does actually work. But what this actually is the ubiquitous, well, sorry, I can't even say it now. No, I'll get my hand out of the way there. It's let's see whether this camera will focus onto this. Well, there we go. It's yeah, this is the what Big Clive actually coined the term a jewel thief. And as I say, this is my version of it. This is the one that I built quite some time ago, and I think you can see that I managed to cram an awful lot of little bits and pieces into there. And believe it or not, this transistor here, which you can actually see, it's in a TO5 can. As I say, I think it's a BFY50, I think is what I've used. And I've wound myself a tiny little coil there for it. This is just a little piece of PCB, which was for the positive terminal. I did originally wanted to try and put a spring down the bottom there, but it was not having it, so I basically just soldered a piece of tin on the bottom there and hammered it down a little bit so it would make contact with the battery, which I've just put in the backwards. I'll just pop this back in the right way. Yeah, it seems to be dropping all over the place, and I can't really see what I'm doing really, because I've got the light coming towards me, unfortunately, and the neighbours have painted their house a nice white colour, and when the sun catches it, as I say, it blinds me. But there we go. As I say, that's the little device itself. Well, there's not really much else to say about it, really. I'm not quite sure exactly when white LEDs came in, but originally I had a yellow LED in here, a high brightness yellow one, which was basically, it was the only LED I had that was bright enough to provide a little beam. And when white LEDs became cheap enough, i.e. when they started to drop below £1, I decided to buy one. I had to wait until I had to buy a few other components as well, because there was no way I was going to pay £4.50 handling charge just for an LED, which you could basically just put in a first class envelope. But there we go. As I said, that's my little torch. And as I say, it works really well. You can see I've actually put a rubber ring on here to make it slightly waterproof, which is about, yeah, it's not very waterproof, because as I say, it would leak around here anyway. So, but as I say, I just put this little piece of rubber on there to just to finish it off. And as I say, it does work quite well. And I'm surprised the amount of light that actually comes out of this. And it does remain illuminated for quite a considerable length of time. In fact, I've only ever had 2 batteries for this. The first one actually came from Tandy's, actually, which was one of their NSLs, the green ones. And yeah, as I said, that was in there for years and years. And then when it had finally failed, I just swapped it over with the one that's in it now. And as I say, it's proved a very, very useful little torch. As I say, it's nothing spectacular now, but or exciting now. But back in the day when I first made this was quite a conversation piece. Well, anyway, thanks for looking, and more to come later. Bye-sy daisies.